Hello brick sculptors and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris and today I want to show you how I made the 1,000 leaf, 1,000 subscriber tree. So I posted this last week when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who supported my channel, by the way. And a few people in the comments had asked me to show them how it's made. So I think I'll do that. I'll dissect it because I want to take this apart anyway. I stole a lot of parts from my city and from other things I built to make this, because it took a lot of pieces to make these branches. And I'll show you kind of the technique I used to build this. I do want to mention, when I built this, I was kind of on short notice. I was out of town for 2 days for a wedding, and that happened to be when I rolled over 1,000 subscribers. So I was like, crap, I need to get home and I need to make a tree. I had already had the leaves counted out, and I filmed that part previously because I had this idea before. But I didn't know I'd be on such short notice to get this built, so I had to quickly throw together a trunk and get this thing built before I rolled on to too many subscribers where it just didn't make sense anymore. So, with that being said, the trunk is pretty good, but if I had more time, I probably could have done it better. One thing also, I had absolutely no idea what 1,000 leaves would look like on a tree before I did this. So I was totally guessing at the size of trunk that I would need. With that being said, it actually looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like cartoonish having a trunk this large for a canopy this big. But it isn't super realistic, so I probably would have gone with a thinner trunk. But I'll show you the construction of this. First thing I'm going to do is take off all the leaves. And the technique I used for this, I've also done a video on in the past. I use these little brown pieces to pin them on. And the nice thing is when you have this many pieces hanging off one spot, they hang really nicely. And so that's what gives it kind of this natural draping look of the tree. And I think it turned out actually pretty cool. I also have to say, I had no idea if 1,000 leaves would fit on this many branches and would fit on the branch structure that I had built into the trunk until I actually did it. So I got pretty lucky, and I think it turned out pretty good considering. So let me go ahead and take all the leaves off, and I'll show you how I built this trunk. Alright, now that I have the whole canopy off and piled up over here, you can see the trunk a little better. And another thing I should mention is when I built this, I was a little, I didn't order any parts for this, so I was kind of working with what I had laying around, and I was surprisingly low on reddish brown. Now I think that kind of worked in my favor, because I just started grabbing dark orange. Now most of this was covered by the canopy, but where it showed through, I thought it actually looked pretty cool. Again, this trunk is a little fat, especially in comparison to this. Now you don't see most of that, so it kind of looked pretty good when the canopy's on. But let me show you how I built this. This part up here is fairly simple. I used a bunch of these arching pieces, kind of in 4 different directions, in 3 different layers. So 1, 2, 3. And I just kind of built up off these round 4x4 bricks. So I have 4 arms here. And then the top, I tapered down to 2x2. Also, these tend to break. Gotta love reddish brown for that. On the top, I put one of these, and that was how I transitioned to the very top. I just stuck one of these pieces on top here, like this, and it just kind of covered on the very top. So that's what I did at the very, very top, just one of these poles. But when we get down into the actual meat of the trunk here, I kind of capped it off with a bunch of bricks. But underneath that, this is actually all SNOT technique. So I did kind of try to, like I said, I had to build this in kind of a hurry. But I did try to kind of blend this into the base by just adding some slopes at the bottom. But this is actually a tube of SNOT plates. So basically I could take this off like this. I used some round parts to fill in the corners like this. But this is me see if I can get this bottom off. This is just 4 6-wide tan plates connected with SNOT bricks, and then I just built on the outsides like this with various random reddish brown pieces. I got some dark brown mixed in, a little bit of dark orange, and just kind of built it up. Like I said, I had no idea how big this tree was going to be. I had no idea if I even had enough limbs here when I built this. I was completely guessing, and I think it worked out pretty good. If I had to do it again, I would probably make this trunk 4x4 as opposed to 6x6, because as it builds outward, this ends up actually more like 8 or 10 by 10, and it got really huge. But again, it looked kind of cool like that. But I think ideally I'd make it 4x4, and the end size would be more like 6x6, maybe even 8x8. But anyway, I think it worked out pretty good. If you want to see the SNOT technique, there it is. And these are these SNOT bricks that have studs on 4 different sides, top, sides, and face. And so you can really connect pretty much anything with these. I thought they worked out pretty darn good. So, now you know. That's how I built it. Once again, thank you for the 1,000 subs. Hopefully I can do more videos in the future when we hit other milestones. So that's all for this time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.